All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I said in the '05 axle swap video that I'd like to cover the transfer case a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick short video about the transfer case and what you got to do to put it in. So we'll take a look at the truck behind me here and go from there. All right, here we are underneath the truck here. I kind of touched on the topic of this transfer case when I did the '05 swap video, but this is a 1999 to 2004 F250, F350 transfer case. Has to be 99 to 04 to match the output splines of the transmission. So this will work on an E40D or a ZF5 truck, but you need to have that model year transfer case to match up so that it does bolt in. Uses the same bolt pattern, same gasket, same bolts. The only thing you have to do is you have to extend the linkage arm. As you can see, I extended that one. So I'll get you a measurement for that. But this is a fairly bolt-in swap other than the linkage arm there. You need to replace the front drive shaft flange. So this is a 4407 front flange on this drive shaft. And as you can see, it doesn't quite fit. So bolt pattern's right. It's on there right now just because this truck just stays here, just using it for moving it around. So I would not run that on the highway because it is unstable. The correct part number for that front flange is going to be a Spicer 3-2-1699, and that is for a 1350 joint. So something else to keep in mind is this drive shaft was too long once it was put in with this transfer case. So something to think about here is that you need to have this transfer case in and then measure the rear drive shaft. So as I was saying, this truck had a 4407 in it and now has the new process 271, but none of the OBS trucks came with a rear flange on the drive shaft. So you need to have this flange on the drive shaft for the '05 swap. And the part number for that is a Spicer 3-2-1859. And once again, that's only for a 1350 joint. And that will be needed for the rear axle. It's a lot easier than changing the yoke on the axle. So the only time you run into issues with these part numbers is going to be in any truck that didn't have a 460 or a 7.3. You have the possibility of it not being a 1350 rear shaft. So you have to have the 1350 shaft because they don't make these flanges in a 1330. So that's something to keep in mind. The only other thing that is notable here is, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's an ear up there on the top of the transfer case. It gave me an issue for getting this up in here. I had to drop the transmission down a little bit to get the transfer case put in. In the future, I think I would cut those two ears off. There's two ears up there and they wrap around the floor brace for the super cab. The crew cabs and regular cabs don't have that brace and you won't have that problem with those. But as a super cab, you have that problem, and I can show those to you on another transfer case that I have sitting out here. So yeah, this is a fairly straightforward swap. Just a short little video on it. It's not difficult. It's just a matter of nuts and bolts, basically. So if you have the part numbers and you have the parts, then you're pretty much good to go. This is a great replacement for a 4407 because they are so difficult to come by in an F350 setup. So the whole reason for this transfer case swap was to get this double carbon front shaft with the front flange. This just made the '05 axle swap that much easier. So I will show you that transfer case here, and that way you can kind of see what you need to do. So these are the two little ears I was talking about here, right here and right here. This one can pose a problem for you, but it's not so much of a big deal. It's more so this piece here and this piece here. So if you wanted to file those down, cut them off, it's up to you. You can make it work with them there. It just makes it a little bit harder to put in. So, but yeah, that's all. And I wanted to cover the transfer case with you. So I hope this helps for guys that are looking for an upgrade or an improvement or just trying to replace their transfer case with something that is a little easier to come by. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Like and subscribe to the channel.